What's going on, guys? Uh, we are going to recap UFC 263. There's plenty to talk about there. Haven't done a live stream in probably, what was it? Probably 10 days ago since UFC 263. Uh, so much stuff to talk about coming out of UFC 263. Then you have Max Holloway's injury. You have the Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige coming up this Saturday, which I'm probably going to do a live fight watch along for that one. But there's just so much to talk about. Let me make sure I got all the right settings on here. Hopefully, yes, I do. Got the low latency. Make sure everything is good. Okay, it's looking good. So let's see what's going on. Whew, there's so much to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about first? This is the real question. UFC 263, Max Holloway versus Yair falling out, which I'm disturbed about. Absolutely saddened when I heard the news that Max Holloway was injured and we're no longer getting him versus Yair, but they might reschedule it, so we may still get it. What's going on, Monty Gaming? What's going on, Ginge? Good to talk to you guys. It's been too long. Been a busy week. I wanted to do it one earlier this week, but I didn't have time at all. How excited are you guys for Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige? Yeah, I would have loved. Yeah, Edson or Giga would be fun. I think Giga I can't say his last name, but I would love to see him versus Yair Rodriguez. I think that fight would be a lot of fun. I really think that Giga has a lot of hype around him, and if we put him against a guy like Yair Rodriguez, we can kind of get that early test, for Giga Chikaze, I think is how you pronounce his last name. It just came to me. I couldn't say it for a second. But it's crazy how far Yair has come as far as people's perception of his skill set, especially when you look at what Frankie Edgar did to him, a couple years back. And I know that was a while ago, but it's just crazy, how far he's come. He looked phenomenal in the Jeremy Stevens fight. Yair, I was actually a massive fan of Yair, but he kind of pissed me off with that whole Jeremy Stevens thing. He brutally poked Jeremy Stevens in the eye, and then he kind of blamed, he kind of blamed Stevens for that. It was super annoying to me. Then he got the rematch. He did win, and his kicks are phenomenal. He has lightning fast kicks. All his kicks have nasty power in them. It's just crazy that he was going to get a guy like Max Holloway. It's just crazy because I just remember kind of watching Yair on the come up, and now to see him in a fight against Max Holloway, then to lose it, that kind of sucks. I hope that maybe it's a minor injury for Max Holloway. Maybe he got cut. I don't know what it was. And then hopefully they postpone that fight. Maybe in August we get Yair versus Max. Because I wanted to see that fight. I wanted to see Yair really test it substantially against a former champion. I had a feeling that Yair was going to get brutally destroyed. But his kicks are lightning fast. And we could see, something spectacular. Imagine the hype that Yair Rodriguez would get if he was able to put Max Holloway away. That would be insane. And featherweight is so much fun. I think Ige and Zombie is going to be a banger. I personally think it's 55-45 in favor of Zombie, but I really think anything can happen in this fight. I'm assuming is what you meant to say. Also, can't wait for any Zombie fight. He always goes to war. Yeah, if you would have asked me to pick this fight before the Brian Ortega fight, I'd pick Korean Zombie 10 times out of 10. But it's hard for me to get past that Brian Ortega loss. And I love the Korean Zombie. That man, he lives up to his nickname. Look what he did in that Yair fight. He was winning the fight. I can't remember if he won every round up until that point. I don't remember. It's been so long now. He rushed forward to throw down with 5 seconds left and gets KO'd after winning the majority of the fight. I don't remember how much of it he was winning, but he was winning the majority of the fight. Korean Zombie just rushes forward and gets brutally KO'd. One of the most spectacular KOs I've ever seen, an upwards elbow. Has that ever happened in MMA? I think Anderson Silva landed something similar to that at one point in time. But I really think, Dan Ige is going to come to fight, and I picked Dan Ige, but I said I wasn't very confident in the pick. But nonetheless, I still lean Dan Ige right now. But I would love to see the Korean Zombie pull off a victory. The Korean Zombie is so much fun to watch. It's crazy. I was dying to see him fight for a belt, and Brian Ortega stole that shot from him. But what a big fight this is for Dan Ige as well, because if he's able to get a win over Korean Zombie, and potentially, if he were to finish him, the last guy to beat Korean Zombie got a title shot in Brian Ortega. I know he hasn't technically gotten it yet, but he could be. Dan Ige could be one fight away from a title shot after the Korean Zombie win if he were to potentially get it. Sorry, hold on. I got distracted by the comments. Yeah, that's true. Would love to see Yair versus Max, but I think Max would beat him bad because Yair guesses because of his style. Yes, very true. I think Max would beat him bad, but I still love to see him test it. I wish the Korean Zombie can get the belt. Yeah, I thought he could get the belt. Up until that Brian Ortega fight, I thought he could get the belt. I thought he was going to beat Brian Ortega, and then I thought he had a good chance against Volkanovski. I probably wouldn't have picked him against Volkanovski even back then, but I thought he had a substantial chance. And now I can't get that Brian Ortega loss out of my head because it's crazy. Brian Ortega looked great because it was against Korean Zombie, but I don't even think he looked all that good. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. It's not like he looked particularly fast. It's not like he looked particularly technical. But it's weird. He won the fight, and he heard it multiple times. So I don't know what to say about it. But it was a very weird performance. But hats off to Brian Ortega. He got himself in the title fight. I don't know about Ige. He got beat pretty good by Cater. Yes, he did. Ortega versus Volkanovski. Who wins? I may change my pick by the time the fight comes around. But I will tell you right now, I'll go with Volkanovski, gun to my head. I may change my pick by the time the actual fight comes around. That's a fight I'm really excited for. It was supposed to happen at the end of March. It got pushed back because of Volkanovski testing positive. And who knows? Volkanovski said he had it pretty bad. It might affect his training. I don't know. Also, the Korean Zombie can still get a belt. He has a really good style to beat Volkanovski, amazing ground game, and a really good striker. Yes, I think he has a legitimate chance against Volkanovski, but it's a matter of getting to Volkanovski. And if Ortega wins the belt, you bet your ass Max Holloway is going to be begging for a title shot. I agree with you. He beat Zombie well, but it seems Zombie was off in that fight. He was slow to everything, like it was a gear behind Ortega. It was a very strange fight. I thought it was very weird. Yusuf says, Brandon Moreno beat the brakes out of Figgy. Yes, he did. And I don't know where Figgy goes from here. I made a video about it. What does he do now? Because unless he has some major excuse for why his performance was the way that it was, I don't see, how can he adjust and beat Brandon Moreno, sorry. Brandon Moreno just looks super well-rounded. And I don't know what would happen, If Volk wins, who do you think is next? It's got to be Max. I know that sounds crazy because they fought twice and Volk won. But but Max has got that lingering fight with Yair. I guess it would be the winner of Max versus Yair if that fight does end up happening. I'm going to go Ortega, underrated striking. He has really good elbows, leg kicks, and decent boxing, and obviously his ground game is pretty nasty. Yeah, his ground game is nasty. I actually picked him. Obviously I didn't have a YouTube channel then. I picked him to beat Holloway. Obviously I was well off there, but I used to be very high on Brian Ortega. I feel like the Korean Zombie thrives when there's a crowd. I don't know why, but I just don't think he's the same when there isn't a crowd. We will find out. We will find out tomorrow night. I'm probably going to do a fight watch along. So, if you guys want to join me tomorrow night, we'll watch it live together. There's never a boring Korean Zombie fight. I think 135, did you hear he cuts 18% of his body weight? That's essentially cutting off one of your legs. I did see something about that, But dude, what is Figueroa going to do at 135? 135 is just filthy. I don't I I don't even think he, beats some of the guys outside the top 10, let alone the top 10. And I know he has a chance against everyone, but it's a tough, it's a tough path forward at 135 for Figgy. I don't know what he does, what it's possible for him to do at 135. There's so many killers at 135. There's people not even in the top 15 that are killers. So I don't know if that's the option for Figueroa, but if he's cutting that much, cutting that much weight, I don't think it's good for him to be at 125. Maybe he moves up to 135 and it doesn't drain his body as much, so therefore, his skills kind of improve and maybe he's able to train more or whatever. I don't know. That could be a thing. Brandon versus Askarov. Yeah, I'd love to see that fight. I think that's the fight to make. But apparently Askarov is fighting Alex Perez in July, my friend. Cody probably next for Moreno, knowing the UFC. I hope not. If Cody Garbrandt gets a flyweight title shot, I'm going to flip out. You seen any more plates, more dates, videos on John Jones PED stuff? Good, informative stuff. No, I have not, but I will check it out. I'm always interested to learn about that. I know he did a couple videos on Izzy as well. And I'll check it out. I don't know. 135 is Shark Tank. Crazy how skilled everyone in that division is. Yeah, there's guys who are nasty who aren't even in the top 15. Do you see Volk moving up if he lost or going for the 2 champ status? I think Volk's like a perfect featherweight. He's not too crazy big. He's not too small. I think he fits perfect at featherweight, and I think he should stay there as long as possible because 155 is pretty nasty too. But I think I wouldn't say his chances of double champ are slim. I wouldn't say that. I think he could have a good shot to beat anybody because Volkanovski, his one key attribute is he's so well-rounded. Figgy going to be beaten by a lot of guys at 135, yeah. Somebody comment, I don't remember who it was, so if you're in here, you can take credit for it. I wouldn't mind seeing Figgy move up and fight Sean O'Malley in his 135-pound fight. Figgy has to move up. He's going to be much better at 135. He'd have even more power. He'd have a better chin, and he had nasty jiu-jitsu. He'd be top 5 for sure. I don't know if he'd be top 5, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. Cody was supposed to fight Figgy, but he got COVID. Yep. I wouldn't mind them matching them two up at 135 or 125. Let's do Cody Garbrandt versus Figgy. I think that makes a lot of sense right now. He'd have trouble with Yan Dillashaw and Sandhagen. I think he could beat Aljo. I don't think he could beat Aljo. He's a better grappler, and the power would make Aljo second-guess everything. He'd easily beat Font, in my opinion, and he'd beat Cody. I'm not confident in any of those fights. I think he definitely loses to Yan. I think he definitely loses to Dillashaw, depending on how Dillashaw looks on his return. I know that's a little asterisk there. I think he definitely loses to Sandhagen. I think he definitely loses to Aljamain Sterling. I think Font is a little bit more competitive, and I think he probably beats Cody, but I'm not even sure about that. I think he may lose to Cody as well. Brian Ortega in the lightweight division. You know what's funny, Issa? Years ago, when I was talking about who could beat Khabib, this was like 2 years ago probably, I always said I would love to see Ortega versus Khabib. I would love to see that fight. I think that fight would be a lot of fun. It's a weird matchup nobody ever talks about. But I would really love to see that fight. Any thoughts on tomorrow night's Anderson Silva boxing event? Humiliating or cool or both? I really don't have any thoughts. I just always wish Anderson Silva the best. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I just hope he does well. Whatever he does, I'm not personally going to watch it. Is it a pay-per-view or is it free? By the way, guys, I appreciate all you guys joining me for the chat. Anybody has any more questions, put them in the chat. Just keep running up the chat. I appreciate it, and I like answering all your guys' questions. But I hope Anderson Silva is able to do well. I'm not going to be personally watching it. I don't even know if it's a pay-per-view or not. But we'll see. Volk is so underrated because of Max Holloway fans. I love Max, but it's crazy how underrated Volk and all. Yeah, I mean, look at his wins. Chad Mendez, Aldo, and then Max Holloway twice. I don't care. The fact that it was even close with Max Holloway says enough. And that first fight, I didn't think was close. I mean, it wasn't a blowout by any means, but I thought Volkanovski clearly won that first fight. Font would win. Boxing is too clean. Probably, you're probably right. But I think that's probably the best path forward for Figgy. People think Aljo is trash because of what happened with Yan. Yeah, I think a lot of people are forgetting how good Aljamain Sterling is just because Yan beat the shit out of him. TK, the Korean Zombie versus Ige. Who wins? By the way, who is on the undercard? I picked Ige. I did a prediction video. If you want to go check it out, it doesn't seem like that many people check that video out. So do me a favor and check it out. I got to look at the full card. I can't remember who else is on the full card. You know, it always slips my mind trying to remember these cards. But I think there's a couple. It's an underrated card, honestly. Let's see what we got here. Chan Sung Jung versus Dan Ige. Okay, so we got Alexei Oleinik versus Sergio Spivak. Oh, you know who I'm excited to see on this card, guys? So, you guys want to know who's one of my favorite fighters? You know, like top 10 favorite. You know, it's not like he's high up there. But who's one of my top favorite fighters that I never, or top 10 favorite fighters, who I never ever talk about on this channel? I just really like his style, but I also really like his personality. You know, he seems like a real dude. Chito Marlon Vera, and he is fighting tomorrow night. I'm so excited to watch him fight. I really like the guy. I hope he wins. I hope he has success at 135. Max fans are the worst. They all think just because he's Max that he would run through everyone. Like, it's actually annoying that they think Yair is just some stepping stone. Like, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, I think some fans can be overwhelming, but I definitely am lean on the side that he would probably beat Yair, but I would love to see it. By the way, anybody who's in here, if you haven't already, please like the video. Help the channel grow. I really appreciate it. Chavez missed weight. How much did he miss weight by? I'm curious. Also, I saw some Max fans say he beat Gaethje. Like, no, he would not beat Gaethje. Gaethje is the worst nightmare for Holloway. The leg kicks, the power, the boxing. Gaethje would stop Max in the latter rounds. Yeah, I agree. Or even early. I mean, the power discrepancy. I think Max has a chance, though. I'm not going to say Max doesn't have a chance. You could give all 5 rounds in the first fight against Max. Yeah, I agree. I haven't watched it that recently, so I can't say too much. But I remember thinking, like, okay, he won every round. And what's crazy to me, and I love Max Holloway, don't get me wrong. What's crazy to me is everyone's complaining about the decision. But Max Holloway's output in either one of those fights was nowhere near what it normally is. Did you see Rory McDonald versus T-Bow yesterday? Rory was robbed very badly, awful judges. I did see, people talking about it, but I did not see the fight itself. I'm looking forward to Kanato versus Virna. Let's see. Is that on the prelims? Where's that at? Oh, okay. Okay, Kanato, women's strawweight bout. Okay, hold on, I think I missed, sometimes I see messages, but I don't read them fast enough, and then I miss them. I know, okay, there it is, I saw it down the bottom, yep. Chaos Williams, Chita Vera, Alexei Oleinik, yep. What's going on, Kevin? How are you doing? Justin Gaethje versus Brian Ortega. I think Gaethje beats the shit out of him, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. I pick Virna. I'm not sure who I pick in that one. I got to give that one some more thought. I never really put too much thought into it. Max fans get mad that he got robbed in the second fight, Volkanovski, but I guarantee you he won't say a word if it was the other way around. Yeah, I thought I'm in the minority. I thought Volkanovski won the second fight. I thought it was a little bit closer. I wouldn't have cried if it went either way, but I thought Volkanovski won. She's tough as fuck. Let's see who else we got on this card. I can't wait to see Chaos Williams fight. I really like the guy. Yeah, the prelims aren't that great, but then again, it's just a fight night card on ESPN Plus. But the main card, has some decent fights. Matt Brown versus Diego Lima as well. I really want. Hold on, wait. Chad Mendes wants to come back. Who do you want to see him come back? Do you want to see him come back? Sorry, I read that wrong. Uh, I wouldn't mind it. For me, I'm gonna be honest, and I was a big Chad Mendes fan. I feel like he was a cheater. He got popped for whatever, some type of PED. Then he never looked the same again, and then he retired. So, what does that tell you? I really want to see Alexei Oleinik get that 60th win, man. What an accomplishment that would be. That'd be awesome. I wish he would have. I can't believe he wasn't able to submit Derek Lewis when he had him down. I thought he would. I watched the breakdown of the third, and it changed my mind completely. It made me think Volk won that fight also. Yeah, I think Volk. I didn't think that Max won either fight, but I concede that the second fight was a lot closer. Um, Chad exposed Connor a bit. I like Connor, but let's be real. Chad exposed him on a week's notice. I could only imagine what would do with a full camp. Unpopular. What the hell? Why did it pop up like that? Why did it pop up like I was in the chat? Um, that was weird. But yeah, unpopular opinion. I think Chad Mendes would have beat Connor on a full camp, no doubt in my mind. Uh, Alexei Oleinik is absolutely faded. He's 10,000 years old and slow as hell. His wins since 2017 are mostly over a bunch of dusters. I love him and I desperately want him to win, but it's impossible. He has no head movement at all. He has absolutely no head movement. Uh, that's so weird. I don't know how mine popped up. Must have been some type of error. Um, he has no head movement at all, Alexei Oleinik. But you gotta love the guy for keep competing at an advanced age. I'm be honest, I'm watching boxing tomorrow. Is on the undercard, but I'll be watching the main event. Enjoy. If you that's what you like. Do you think we missed how good Korean Zombie could have been because he had to leave for a couple years to serve in the military? I think there's a chance, but who knows? Maybe he's better because of that time off. Look at Ortega took 2 years off after the Max Holloway beating, uh, and you know look what happened there. So he came back, he beat Korean Zombie up. I know that's a little bit different scenario, but time off sometimes can be good for you. And I think Korean Zombie was off a little over 2 years, if I remember correctly. Uh, Also, hold on, I keep missing this. By the way, I see it, and then I keep getting distracted by a new message. Yusuf, I watched Askarov versus Moreno today. It was a draw, but Moreno got robbed. I'll have to rewatch that one, Yusuf. I'm sorry I missed that message. Um, it's really entertaining. It's a really entertaining card tomorrow. If you know the fighters involved, some great stylistic matchups. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, and that's why tomorrow I'll be doing a fight watch along. I'm pretty sure. I got to see what time the card starts. Hold on, let me double check and make sure. Ooh, the main card's early, so that's perfect. Yep. So I'll do a fight watch along at least for the main card. I may even get on for the prelims. So if you guys want to join me tomorrow, I'll be doing a live stream. What's up, Perez? How are you doing? Nice talking to you. Good seeing you. Askarov is scary, honestly. Yeah, I think Askarov is scary. He could win. He could beat Brandon Moreno. I'd like to see it. Um, Chad versus Muzavar Evolov. Two really high level wrestlers would be amazing, but Muzavar, a young lion and on the rise, so I don't know. Maybe he should come back versus Bryce Mitchell. Stylistically favorite matchup. He was. Muzavar's been asking for the Yair fight. I think I've seen something about it. USUAJSJSJSJSJS. How do you pronounce your name? That's hilarious. Monty Gaming. All right, perfect. I'll expect to see you here tomorrow night. Awesome, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. If you guys enjoy them, I'll keep doing them. I try to do them as often as possible. Eventually, I'm gonna have a full blown setup where I can do the big events too. But I can't watch the big events on my computer. I gotta watch them on my big screen. Eventually, I'm gonna have a setup where I can live stream and we can watch pay-per-views together. That would be awesome. Imagine my live reaction to the Chris Weidman leg break or the Masvidal KO. Let's see. Am I the only one who likes early cards instead of fight nights that start at like 8? The only times I like cards to start late are pay-per-views. I hate super late fight nights. I'm with you on that one. For me personally, if it's about a 2 hour card, like a main card, I don't mind a 7 or 8 o'clock start time. It's over by 10 or 11. Does anybody remember when they used to do those late ass Fox Sports 1 fight cards where it wouldn't go off till like 1 a.m. and they would start the main card at like 10 and it had like 7 fights on the card? Oh my. Those were the worst nights to be be a UFC fan. Muzavar versus Yair. Who you got? I would favor Masvar, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. That is so. Let's see if that works. Chad popped because of the wicked cream he needed to use on his. Sorry. Where did I lost? Chad popped because of the wicked cream he needed to use on his weird leg skin thing. He never cheated, never. Yeah, but there was no real information about that. I don't know if I believe that. Bro, I was up off my seat when Weidman broke his leg. God damn. Yeah, it almost ruined my night a little bit. I know that sounds crazy, but to see, what happened there, and it kind of makes you, almost not want to watch. I prefer earlier starts as some cards finish at 5 a.m. over there. I can imagine being an MMA fan over in another country, especially UFC fan, must suck. Monty, it looked like he tried to wrap his leg around Hall's leg like a lasso. I know it's crazy. Did you see? So Weidman started up a podcast and he had a guest. He had Anderson Silva on as a guest, and he said something that really disturbed me. So he apologized to Anderson for celebrating, and he said, I didn't realize your leg was broken, but I never formally apologized to you, and I really wanted to, especially, after going through this. He said he was taking pictures with fans, posing checking leg kicks after he broke Anderson Silva's leg with a checked leg kick. I find that a bit distasteful, and I really wish he wouldn't have said that. I didn't even want to know about that. Who does Masvidal fight next? I got two options for you. Either Nick Diaz or Leon Edwards. Also, I missed this. Lawler versus Nick Diaz or Condit versus Diaz. I want Lawler versus Nick Diaz. I just realized I missed that. Joey, after the watch, Ivalov versus Hakeem Dawodu. It's on the UFC. Man, Muzavar absolutely mauled. Yeah, I watched that fight. I watched the prelims. And yeah, he absolutely mauled him. Yep, I seen the fight. Dawodu could have nothing to offer at all. That night was crazy. We had Crute getting the leg stuffed, then Weidman. Then you had Weili Zhang getting KO'd with the head kick. Then you had Masvidal getting knocked out cold by Kamaru Usman, which no one thought would happen. Here on the West Coast, Spike would not do an East Coast feeds for cable, only satellite. Bellator and old school UFC start late as fuck. Didn't they used to air them on a time delay? Who wants to watch an event not live? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Masvidal's ducking Leon again. They gonna make him fight some washed up bum, but hype the bum up to be some killer that don't have any finishes. Probably. Yeah, my guess is I think Masvidal versus Nick Diaz is gonna happen. That's a big fight for the UFC. I'll be pissed though if it is a main event of a pay-per-view. I don't want to see that as a main event as a pay-per-view. Timothy Johnson, pound for pound, worst facial hair in MMA? Most likely. I can't think of anybody else. Worst or best? Some people probably think it's the best. So, but I wish Masvidal would fight Leon. I mean, that story's been there for years now. 2 years we wanted to see. 2 years we wanted to see that fight since that backstage brawl. There's something about watching an event live that you don't feel otherwise. Yeah, I can't watch it on a rerun. I mean, I watch it on a rerun if I miss it, but it's different. It's just, trying to avoid the results. And then also, it's like almost like you want to fast forward sometimes. It ruins the whole experience. I couldn't imagine that. Okay. Oh my, I can't imagine waking up at 6. I wouldn't be an MMA fan if I lived somewhere else. I couldn't wake up at 6 a.m. to watch fight cards. Okay, best chin in every division. Okay. Flyweight. Whoo, that's a tough one. Because none of their nobody's chin's really been tested all that much. I'll go Tim Elliott for flyweight. I'll go a little bit different. Tim Elliott for flyweight, best chin. Bantamweight. See, it's hard to say best chin because some of these guys like Peter Yan's never really been clipped too much, so I don't know if I can really say he has a great chin. I'll say Jose Aldo, and I know he's been finished twice by Max Holloway, but he was never put out cold other than Conor, if I remember correctly. Featherweight, I'll say Volkanovski. He has got clipped up a couple times, but he's eaten them. Lightweight, I'll go Tony Ferguson. Welterweight, best chin. I'll go Kamaru Usman. Middleweight, best chin. I'll say Robert Whittaker. He got hit by some hard shots by Yoel Romero, and he was able to survive them. See, there's some guys who may have great chins, but they never get hit, so it's hard to say. Light heavyweight, even though he's not on here, I'll say John Jones. And heavyweight. Who has the best chin at heavyweight? Definitely not Curtis Blades. I guess we'll go Francis Ngannou. He ate some shots from Stipe and didn't get finished. Women's strawweight, Rose. Obviously flyweight, Valentina, but she hasn't eaten too many shots. Or you could go Jessica Andrade. And then obviously probably Amanda Nunes. Let's see. Yeah, you could go Holloway too. Yup. You're right. He has been hit by some bombs. Peter Yan's my guy. Got dropped by a flyweight Dobson. Okay, I didn't remember that. I forgot that then. Bro, Max Holloway in the featherweight division. You guys are right. Yeah, Max did get lit up by some big shots in different fights. He got rocked by Jose Aldo, if I remember correctly. Rocker Johnson, what's going on, man? Live is so much better because you have no idea what's going to happen. Even if it's boring and when you don't watch, it's live. It's just not the same. It's hard to rewatch the whole entire card. Yeah, it's very true. It's very hard to watch a card that's not live. For me, it's personally, I almost can't do it unless I really absolutely have to. Nunes got rocked by JDR. Yes, she did. Wasn't it like an up kick, if I remember? I don't remember. Chito versus Grant. I'm very excited for that fight. I really like Chito Vera. One of my favorite fighters, even though I never talk about him. Inverna versus Kanatko are two sleeper fights. Yes, I agree. Both those fights should be fun. Got to tune in for the prelims tomorrow. Big Rocker Johnson, you just joined me, but I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow for the fight card, so come join me. I don't know what time I'm going to start, though. Definitely by the main card, but I'm not 100% sure. It's crazy that Adesanya can fight Ngannou. Very true. All he has to weigh is 206. Yeah, that'll never happen. He was talking shit to John Jones. You know what John Jones would have did to him? And I've been saying that long before he lost to Jan Blachowicz. John Jones would wreck Adesanya. I love Davey Grant. His fights are always entertaining. Same with Chito. Going to be an amazing matchup. Yeah, I favor Chito. For me, it's Moreno, Merab, Holloway as of now, Gaethje, Luque, Gastelum, Yuri, Ngannou, Nunes, Shevchenko, Joanna. It's very hard for me to give an answer to the best chin because a lot of people haven't been tested. So, it's hard to say, who's been eaten by shots. But Gaethje definitely does have a great chin as well. I'm excited to see. Yes, Chaos. We were actually talking about earlier on this live chat. Chaos Williams fighting, which should be a lot of fun as well. I like Chaos Williams a lot. I think he could be, work his way into that top 10 eventually at welterweight. So I'm excited to see Chaos Williams. Guys, do me a favor if you haven't already, like the live stream. Please, 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 please. Man, I want to see customized gloves in the UFC. What do you mean by customized gloves? You want like some type of design on them, or you want them like curve the fingers down to negate some eye pokes potentially. I never really who would win between Izzy and Jones, but after watching Yan control Izzy so easily, Jones would have submitted Izzy so easily it's not even funny. Jones would have destroyed Izzy and ruined him. Without a doubt in my mind. Without a doubt in my mind. And that's why Izzy went up, unpopular opinion again, I think that's why Izzy went up after Yan became, champion. So yeah, Ginge, I just saw that. I didn't notice that. I wonder why. I wonder why that is, Ginge. What the hell is going on here? There was also someone typing in the chat, and it looked like it was my name coming up. I don't get it. I had to kick them out. I don't know if it was some kind of YouTube error on my end, or if you guys saw that too earlier. I have no idea why there's 5 dislikes. Someone must be targeting my channel. I think Izzy TKO'd Jones by leg kicks. No way. Jones takes him down, submits him, or brutalizes him. Who fight style, regardless of weight, will cause each champ problems? For example, Khabib, Izzy. I'm trying to understand that question. Okay, so you guys saw my name in the chat. That wasn't even me typing, so I don't know how somebody did that. Whose fight style, regardless of weight class, will cause each champ problems? For okay, so you're talking about just like mix matching, different fighters. Let's see. So that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Regardless of size, and your example was Khabib and Adesanya. No, you see boxers sometimes like different colors. I want to see same with the UFC. Yeah, Bellator does white ones sometimes too, which look nice. Okay, I'm going to try to give you an example. I think Max Holloway would give Vicente Luque problems, maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to come up with this one, Yusuf. This one's a hard question. For example, middleweight Khabib at welterweight. I'm so confused. For example, a middleweight Khabib at welterweight. I'm not gonna be able to answer that one. I'm not gonna. How are you doing that? How is somebody typing like it's my name? If you just give me an idea, otherwise I'm just gonna remove. I don't want to, but that's very strange. How are you typing in my chat as my name? It's very, very weird. But I'll just leave it for now since you seem to be having fun. Does anybody know how they're doing that? How is somebody typing in my chat as if they're me? I might have to change my YouTube password, or somebody somehow mimicking my channel. At least they're not saying anything too strange. Yeah, sometimes when there's a big card, like imagine UFC 205, and then Drake walks out Conor. Yeah, I don't really care for all that much. I mean, it's kind of fun, but they did the Conor Chad Mendes, did the live walkout songs. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean now. Khabib style versus Adesanya. That's a good one off the top of your head. I feel like most of mine would be going down in weight. Let's see. Okay, I'll give you one. Charles Oliveira versus Derek Brunson. I think he could submit Derek Brunson. But like I said, creator on creator harassment. Haters come quick. Disliking your videos are just the beginning. Sorry, bro. I don't care, to be honest. But thank you for caring. I really do appreciate it. You're the man, Perez. But it's very weird. I wonder who would be doing it. I don't know what's the point of it. But it's very weird. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. There's nothing anybody can say to me in a chat that can hurt my feelings, So it is what it is. But how does anybody know, Ginge? Tell me, do you know, or Google this for me? How would someone be typing in my chat and it would be coming up as my name and my picture and everything? I don't understand how that's possible. I would like to know that. Pretty soon, Perez and Jen, you're going to have to be my moderator, okay? I'm going to have to make you a moderator so you can start deleting comments. But I don't understand. I find it very weird how all of a sudden it's 5 dislikes. Someone must have found my channel and really not liked it. So they're like, screw this guy. There's a lot of MMA channels, so maybe it's another creator sending somebody this way. Maybe so. But I'm not going to let it bother me. My goal is 1,000 subscribers very, very soon. I just read the funniest message. Timmy boy, what's up, brother? I've been in jail, so I missed everything. So what's been happening? What's going on, my friend? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think I've been hacked by any means. Let me check my email by some chance real quick. What is a clone, though? I don't understand. I'm trying to figure that one out. Oh, let's see. Yeah, no, in my email, it didn't email me nothing, so I'm assuming not. Yeah. Let's see. But Timmy boy, you missed a lot. You missed UFC 263. Adesanya beat Vittori. Brandon Moreno absolutely worked over Figgy. You missed a lot, my friend. But at least you'll get to see Korean Zombie fight this weekend. Who wins, Alex Perez or Askar? That's a tough one. I'll probably go Askarov. I think he'll probably be able to take him down. He is absolutely, relentless with his takedowns. Let's see. Would a welterweight? By the way, Monty Gaming, thank you for letting me know that. That's crazy. Would a welterweight Peter Yan beat Usman? I don't think so. I mean, because it's hard for me to imagine if Peter Yan is still in. If his size scales up and he's not a fat Peter Yan, then yes. But if he's, you know what I mean? If you just add 170 to his current frame, then no. Question: will you review other organizations like ONE FC and Bellator? Yes, and I have. It's just not as much. Bradley Wells, your channel is awesome, bro. Thank you, everybody who enjoys this channel. I really appreciate you guys. I'm happy we're building our own little community here. Everyone just talking to each other about MMA. That's the best part about this. I love talking MMA, and you guys do too. And we're all talking amongst ourselves. I can't wait to grow it. Soon enough, we'll have hundreds of people in here. I have to scroll through the messages because they'll be popping up too many. I appreciate all you guys, and do me a favor if you haven't already, Bradley, go like the video. We gotta combat the dislikes on this video. Somehow I'm getting disliked, so we gotta combat that, and I need you guys to like the video. You too, Bradley. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. Let's see. Same when I joined straight away from now. I saw 5 dislikes. Yeah, it must have been someone early on. Yeah, Ginge, that's what I'll be doing. That's what I try to do. But that one I had to ask. I never heard of that clone stuff. Thank you. Okay. Yep. What video did you comment on? I can't remember. I have a hard time remembering stuff, especially with the channel and comments. I try to respond to every comment for the most part. So if I don't, sometimes YouTube comments are a little finicky. Sometimes I don't get a notification for it, so it's hard to tell, if I might have missed one. Yes, love this channel, kind of channel where you engage with your followers. Yes, that's what I like doing. I try to make a channel that I would subscribe to. That's my goal here, is to make a channel that I would subscribe to. Talk about all things MMA. I feel like there's a lot of people out there, and you guys tell me in the chat if you're one of these people. I know some people are like this. Where you're like the only person you know that likes MMA and you have nobody to talk to about MMA. I know a couple people that like MMA, but not very many hardcore fans at all. There's no one that wants to discuss it at the length that I like to discuss it. And I know a lot of people are out there like that, and they don't have somebody that they can, call up or whatever and discuss MMA. So this is the kind of channel that I would subscribe to. And I know a lot of people have that, and I hope we can get together, grow this channel. The more people join in our live chats, the better. We can all discuss it about amongst ourselves, and just have a good time. I don't want to have one of those, those channels. Maybe not an MMA channel, but just YouTube in general, where all the comments are just negativity. I don't want that at all. I just want to have fun, discussion. I don't always want to act like I'm the only person that knows anything or I'm 100% right about everything. Some channels act like that. I can't stand that. And I don't want to be that. And also, there's also people who will pick out a subject that is popular to talk about, and they will do 60 million videos on the same thing saying nothing. I think, I try to cover what I appreciate and what I would want to hear about, and give my interesting takes. Like if I have a particular take I like to do, and also cover the news. Yes, sir, I love your kind of channel when you engage. If I was you up, just liked it, brother. If you have haters, that means you're doing well, brother. Keep it up. Thank you, Ari. If Cheeto beats Davey, they should make Cheeto versus Jimmy Rivera, which should be a 5-round main event war. I'd love that. Perez says he's one of those. Yusuf says he only knows a few. Okay, the Figueroa video. Ari says, I was watching MMA in the 2000s, 2001s. Download UFC videos off Morpheus in high school. I've always loved it. That's crazy, man. You're a long-time fan. Keep it up. The haters just help the algorithm. All interactions help. You're going to be an MMA stable. Keep posting, my man. I haven't seen you before, the timestamp guy. I appreciate you subscribing. This is the first time I've seen you in the live chat, and I really do appreciate it. And I hope if one day I have a live chat and I do, I grow the channel and I do like a 2-hour, 3-hour live chat where I just consistently talk about all these different topics where you guys submit questions, constantly, and I can kind of keep it not all over the place. Eventually, that's my goal, is to try not jump around as much. I hope you comment timestamps for me in the future though. But thanks for joining us. Yeah, this is the way it is for me. I'm from Ireland, meaning I've got to stay up late to watch fights. None of my friends do it, but I like this as a way to communicate with fellow MMA fans. Yeah, this is great. And you joined us, and hopefully we'll be around for a long time. The channel continue to grow. We'll get more people who we can all even talk amongst ourselves in the chat. That's my goal. When I see people not only discussing with me in the chat, also discussing amongst each other in the chat, that's awesome to me. That really is awesome. I really like that. And it's just so much fun, when you have people that actually care about MMA and you're discussing it, because it's really hard to find people that even care. Like most people think, oh, it's just two guys standing in the cage fighting, and that's it. That's not what it is at all. There's the sport is so much fun, and when you have two of the most elite guys at a weight class, and they're fighting each other, and the style matchup is very unique, and you have no idea who the fuck is gonna win. That is what I live for. I love those type of fights. Maybe you have an idea who you think's going to win, but you're not sure. And right before that moment when the referee's saying, you ready? There's no higher feeling in the sports than that right there. I love that, especially when we got a really big fight. It's just so much fun. I love it. In your heart, does anybody else, let me know in the chat right now, does anybody else, when you get a really big fight, even if you don't necessarily want one or the other to win, does anybody else's heart just start beating really fast right before the main event starts? Mine does that all the time. And I don't know if I'm just crazy. I hope you become a major MMA channel. Me too. That would be awesome, Bradley. I really hope I do. I would love it. We'll see. I'm going to keep posting videos, keep doing live chats, and I hope so. I really hope so. That would be awesome. Um, Masvidal versus Leon should happen in England, hopefully as a pay-per-view headliner. Whoa, 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 whoa. I agree that it'd be fun if it happened in England, but absolutely should not be a pay-per-view headliner, co-main event, or headliner of an ESPN card. I do not want to see them fighting as a pay-per-view headliner. Besides that 1 year Masvidal had, is the rest of his career a journeyman career? See, I'm hard on Masvidal because I was always a believer in him. I know he has a decent amount of losses, but he was so close to a title shot on many occasions. You know, if he would have beat Damian Maia, he would have. So I hate to call him a journeyman. You know, maybe just above that, obviously. I think he could have beat Tyron Woodley when Tyron Woodley was champion. If he would have got the title shot instead of Damian Maia, I think he could. Let's see. I get acid reflux during the big fights. That's crazy. Sometimes I'll get really hot or cold right before a big fight, too. It's weird how I can do that to you. Yeah, it happens to me on nearly every main event. Just love the anticipation before a huge fight. I almost love the anticipation more than I love the fight itself. Does anybody... This is crazy, but does anybody, like, the whole week leading up to a big fight, just, like, every day, maybe not all day or anything like that, but you're thinking, like, oh, I cannot wait for that fight. And it just makes your week better in general. Like, you get through the week, you're like, I cannot wait for this huge fight. It should be a lot of fun. And it just makes, you know, the anticipation is so much fun. And that's also another reason I started this channel, is because I like, you know, discussing the fights beforehand and giving my opinions on what I think will happen. And you guys will see me, you know, I'll put out a prediction there, and if I'm confident in the prediction, I'll say that I'm confident. And even if I'm wrong, I just admit that I'm wrong. There's some people who will make picks, they'll lose, you know, or get it wrong, and then they'll either avoid talking about it or they'll make some excuse for why they were wrong. Let's see. Everyone is like that. And imagine it for Jones versus Ngannou. I want Jones versus Ngannou so badly. The UFC has not officially announced Ngannou versus Derek Lewis, so there's a chance that it still happens. Could you imagine it gets announced for August? I'd love that. Who wins, Leon or Masvidal? I'll go Leon, but I think it should be a fun fight. Bro, I'm leaning towards I'm leaning forward, crazy and heart pounding, bro. Happens every event. I also tend to start standing up, especially during the bigger fights. I'll be sitting on my couch and I'll start standing up. So let's discuss it now. What do you want to discuss, Timmy? Put it in the chat. Let's see. Are you doing a live stream tomorrow night? Yes, I'm going to do a live stream, at least for the main event. At least for the main event, Ginge. Khabib fights always got me hyped during the week. Yes, Khabib was one of my favorite fighters as well, or is one of my favorite fighters. He got me hyped, especially his last few fights. I mean, think about the lead up to Conor McGregor fight. Think about the lead up to Dustin Poirier. A lot of people thought Dustin Poirier could be the guy. Think about the lead up to Justin Gaethje. I could not. I think if I had to look back over the last year or so, the fight I was most excited for was Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. Okay. Yeah, the fight week is my favorite. All the build up on social media gets me excited for the fights. Do me a favor and look this up. You know what I miss about the lead up to the fight? Does anybody else remember when they used to do the primetime special on TV? And it was like a high quality version of Embedded. It was way better. Somebody look up. It's the GSP Condit primetime ending. GSP versus Condit primetime ending. It was awesome. It got me so hyped for that fight. If you guys have not seen that, make sure to go check that out. It's on YouTube. It was awesome. Let's see. Did refs need to be quick to tell a fighter to do something or break them some fighters just keep it on the ground a long time with no damage. I love seeing jiu-jitsu or wrestling things, but sometimes it sucks. Yeah, I think they do need to be a little bit quicker, especially when nothing's happening. It drives me nuts when nothing is happening. There's no strikes. There's no advancement of position. I love ground game. I love jiu-jitsu. I love guys looking for submissions. I love ground and pound. But when a guy's just hugging you and holding you on the ground, the refs just need to stand it up. Say, if you're not going to do anything, I'm going to stand you up. Bradley says Masvidal will beat Leon Edwards, in my opinion. Okay, I don't think so, but I respect the opinion. Jones says he's not going to fight until 2021. I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong and I haven't seen this, but that is something that got quoted, and I don't think it was actually true. John Jones said something on Twitter that he wouldn't mind sitting out another year. He wouldn't mind, getting ready for heavyweight and sitting out another year. And I think that was kind of a negotiating tactic. And the MMA media ran with it and said, okay, he's not fighting, till 2021, which I don't even necessarily believe. Joey, you haven't discussed Leon Rocked. I made a whole video on it, Yusuf. Leon beats him for 24 minutes. And, everyone's only going to be talking about the last 60 seconds. Going to miss the live stream tomorrow. We'll watch the replay. Yeah, you can check it out. And eventually, in the future, when I do live streams for fights, I want to put timestamps for reactions to finishes and stuff like that. I would love to do that. Khabib vs. Conor, the hype was through the roof. Even the promos were absolutely amazing. Do you remember the intro to that? The lead-in that they did for that pay-per-view, the night of the event? It was kind of cheesy, but it was awesome. That's on YouTube as well. And I really think that, what was it? Well, there was a line from it. It was talking about, Conor fighting Khabib, and it was there's only one way to find out who's the best. And it was lock the cage behind them. And I remember, even though it was cheesy, I got so excited. It was awesome. Does anybody else remember that? It was they had an actor narrate it, and they still have him work sometimes. Calvin versus Arnold should be co-main event to Darren Till versus Derek Brunson. That would be awesome. I got to see highlights. Nick needed one more minute. Or you mean Nate? You messed up. I don't know. I don't understand people wanting to be entertained, but what if nothing was happening on the feet? Do we put them on the ground to see if they're more active? Very, very true. I don't know. That's a debate to be had. Would you consider Khabib the best grappler in UFC history? Probably. I'm a big believer. Do something to escape the position. Very, very true. I do agree with that, and I'll talk about that a little more. Timestamp said, I'm going to share this live feed somewhere right now. Expect some new viewers. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it. That'd be awesome. I'm trying to grow the channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys have any friends that watch MMA, send them my channel. Tell them to subscribe. Chito Vera. Monty Gaming, did you see the interview Chito Vera did? And he was basically saying, people complaining about people taking them down and holding them. It's the guy on the bottom's fault. You should be able to get the fuck up. You should be able to get out of the position, Why is the guy on the bottom complaining for the guy on the top holding him down, but you should be able to escape that position? If you haven't seen that clip, go check it out. I think it's on MMA Junkie or something like that. I don't know if I can share a link in here or not. Let me see if I can share a link. Let me see if I can share a link, my friend. I'll share it in the chat if I can. Yeah, it was on MMA Junkie's Instagram. Let me show it to you real quick. I don't know if this works or not. Can you click that, my friend? Oh, no. Hold on a second. I did it from my wrong. I don't think that works out. I don't think it came up in there. No, I haven't. I'll check it out in a minute. I don't think that came up. I don't think I can share a link in the chat. I tried to, but I don't think it worked. Khabib ain't coming back, but we got Walmart Khabib is in Islam, so it's not that bad. Yeah, Dollar General, Family Dollar Khabib. Do you think Nick or Nate should fight the winner of Vicente Luque versus Michael Chiesa? Absolutely not. And they're not going to. Michael Chiesa is a nightmare matchup for both Nick and Nate. I think they could get the submission against Chiesa, but Chiesa is a great grappler and can take him down and hold him down. Dante Zero says, Usman versus Colby will be the next mega fight. I'll be super excited for it, but I don't know, I'm not sure that it'll be a mega fight by any means. I'll be super excited for it, but I don't think Colby's as popular as people think he is at all. He's not even drawing big ratings or anything. Brandon Moreno has more Instagram followers than Colby Covington. That's how popular Colby Covington is. But I'm excited for the fight, and I'll be it'll be a mega fight in my mind, just because, just because of the stylistic matchup. Usman, okay. Jones direct quote, honestly, I feel like the only people that it benefits me jumping in there early are the other heavyweights. The way I'm training, I'm going to be a real problem this time next year. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's sitting out for the whole year, I think he's just saying, he's willing to wait. I think there's a chance he gets in there sooner. He hasn't fought since last February against Dominic Reyes. I think there's a chance we get him in there very, very, very soon. Maybe even August. I'm hoping. I'm holding out hope. I'm not predicting it. I'm just holding out hope we get Ngannou versus John Jones in August. The UFC just needs to pay the guy. They need to pay him. I don't care what it is. That's the fight to make. That's the biggest fight in UFC history. It would do crazy amount of pay-per-view buys. I saw that the Eagle was signing a contract earlier today. A contract for what? I have no idea what you're speaking of, my friend. Let me see something real quick. Oh. Yeah, but soccer, what are you going to say, soccer stadium? I wonder why Usman versus Colby hasn't been announced yet. Dana has been adamant that Colby's next in line. Usman's been active, so why hasn't that fight been announced? Unless it's not happening. It gives me a little bit of it just kind of plants a seed in your head. Like, what if it doesn't happen? It may not even happen. I have a feeling. Colby's been notoriously for, not being able to come to terms. He missed out on a Woodley title fight multiple times for negotiating himself. Do you think John Jones deserves $30 million to fight? Probably. It's hard to say. I'm not, it's not like I'm some kind of MMA businessman. I don't know what all goes on behind the scenes, but I would say most likely. I think the money that they gained from doing Jones versus Ngannou, the extra profit that they would make would subvert any cost extra that would be paying John Jones instead of doing Derek Lewis versus Ngannou. Sorry, I was having a brain fart there. I think you underestimate Colby versus Usman too. You got we're back in Colby and the Trump haters back. I don't think it's like that as much. Maybe I'm not tuned in as much as that is. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, man. I think people just don't like Colby for his personality. I don't know if it could be though. You could be right. I'm not dismissing your opinion by any means. Yeah, he said in a few interviews though that he's happy with the offer the UFC has given him, as he now runs all his management. Who, Colby does? Hooker wants a fight for UFC 266. He either wants Nate or Tony. I think Gregor deserves a top opponent. They should do Hooker versus Gregor. Yeah, that fight would make a lot of sense. But Hooker probably isn't going to take that fight. I don't think. Gregor's a tough guy. And, that's not a fight that a lot of people are going to be willing to take. Gregor Gillespie does deserve a big fight, though. What he did to Diego Ferreira was filthy. I just hope if Dana White concedes and offers John Jones the $30 million and then gives then Jones gives a hell of a fight. Yeah, I mean, I did a video about John Jones. Will it happen? Will Jones versus Ngannou happen? And Jones did a podcast with Steve-O where he was incredibly honest. He said, look, I am going up in weight to fight Francis Ngannou, one of the scariest heavyweights of all time. And there's a chance I get brutally KO'd and get my jaw broke. And he said, I'm okay with that. I think I can win, or something like that. He said, but I should at least be compensated. You know, that's the biggest fight in UFC history. Listen, you get paid according to eyeballs you bring. It's simple. Khabib and Conor are evidence for this. I mean, Diaz, he earned it 1.1 million, and he wasn't even the main event. Yeah, but I think Jones versus Ngannou does huge numbers. So Jones just wants more guaranteed than on the back end. I'm a fan of the Diaz brothers. They just keep walking you down. They love the violence, not wins, just violence. Yeah, they've always been like that. The only thing that I love the Diaz brothers, the only thing that kind of puts me off is every fight there's an excuse that they won. They really won, you know. Brad Riddell was supposed to fight Gregor, which would be interesting. Yes! Make Brad Riddell versus Gregor Gillespie. That is the fight to make. I would love Brad Riddell versus Gregor Gillespie. And it was supposed to happen, and Riddell got COVID or whatever. I think that's the fight that needs to be remade. Because they haven't got any fights done for that apart from Tisha Torres versus Hill. I'm not sure. Jones is over for me a long time ago because of his past and crappy attitude. I hope he never fights again. Don't say that, Pity's an STI. Even if you don't like him, you want to see him get KO'd. I want to see Jones fight at heavyweight. It's like we've been talking about this for so many years, and it's time to see John Jones versus Francis Ngannou. I'm tired of waiting. I want to see that fight more than anything. I wanted to see it even before Ngannou won the belt. That fight's a lot of fun. I just want to see Jones at heavyweight. So him never fighting again would be a travesty, in my opinion. But I get it. Some people don't like him because he has a personality that really puts you off. I feel that way about Conor. I know that's not going to be a popular opinion. But when Conor was sitting out for years on end, not doing anything, you know, retiring every other day, I didn't care to ever see him fight again. And I love watching him fight. I just hope the fight happens soon. Dana doesn't seem to change his mind. He thinks John Jones wants too much, and it's like being said, Dana is stubborn with fighter pay. Yeah, also, I think Jones probably shouldn't have took it public because Dana White's never going to want to concede publicly. If you remember, Jorge Masvidal negotiated himself out of the first Usman fight, but then Gilbert Burns fell out, and then he got what he wanted, you know? Who do you think will be the next lightweight champion? Well, we got Charles Oliveira right now. I don't know who beats Charles Oliveira, though. If Islam beats Thiago, they should do RDA versus Islam 5-round main event. I think that fight was booked last year at some point in time, and then it fell out for whatever reason. I would love to see RDA versus Islam. Thiago Moises is very good, though. So, don't sleep on him. Who are your top 5 favorite fighters? No pressure. Okay. So I answered this before, but I'm going to answer it again anyway. And this is in no particular order. I'm just going to name some of my favorite fighters. Anderson Silva, Robbie Lawler. Let's see. Who else? Jose Aldo. I'm trying to think of the really like top five. I don't want to say somebody who's one of my favorites, but I'm trying to get the 5. So we got Anderson Silva, Robbie Lawler, and I literally forgot that quick. Who else I just said? I forgot that quick. It's hard for me to remember sometimes. Let me think. Top 5. So, yeah. Jose Aldo is who I said. I'm trying to think of 2 more. Who are my favorite? And also, it's hard for me to differentiate who I love watching and who I like as a fighter, you know? So Lawler, Silva, Aldo, all 3 of my favorites. I love those guys. Khabib. Okay, I almost forgot Khabib. And I really like Peter Yan, too. But also, it's hard for me because there's guys that I like watching who I don't necessarily like. Like I don't love John Jones by any means, but I love watching him fight. So he's probably one of my favorite to watch. I have uh, Robbie Lawler and the Rory McDonald stare down. I have that picture autographed by Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler. I bought it online. Peter Yan. Yeah, I always say Peter Yan. It's just hard saying Peter. Peter. You gotta respect that he was getting released and he tears his way to a title shot. Yeah, but I find him annoying. So I mean, if you like him, that's cool, and I respect that. He tried something, but the act isn't very good to me. It's a C quality act, and it doesn't really get me excited. Merab versus Moraes prediction. Whew, that's a tough fight to pick. Moraes got KO'd in the last two. I'm probably gonna go Moraes. I was a big believer in him, but it sucks that he's got KO'd in his last two fights. So and also his stamina is an issue. So it's hard to say. I'll say Moraes by submission. I'll say he'll get a guillotine on Merab. But that's a great fight. That's a great matchup by the UFC. It's crazy how good Diego Ferreira looked in the first round against Gregor and then gassed. I always wanted to see Nate Diaz versus Diego Ferreira. Yeah, I think Nate Diaz would work Ferreira over. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, in the Ferreira versus Gregor fight, there was a lot of crazy scrambles. I love that fight. Monty says Merab. Pitties and STI says 5. Holloway, Brendan Moreno, Charles O, Khabib, Korean Zombie because of their great attitude. Yes, Charles Oliveira is one of my favorites as well. So that rounds out my top 5. Who did I say? Aldo, Robbie Lawler, Anderson Silva, Khabib, and Charles Oliveira. That's my 5. I don't think I'm gonna change it. I just love, but then also I said Peter Yan too. So there's 6 of them. Really, I forgot. Very true. I don't blame the fighters for asking for more. They using boxing as an example and why they should be paid more. One series pays their fighter more fairly. And Bellator. I don't know if that's always true. Some of the lesser guys in boxing don't get paid anything. Bellator, it's always the UFC has-beens, that are claiming they get paid more over in Bellator, and maybe it's true, but also it could be that Bellator is overpaying for them because they need guys to draw attention. So it's hard to really say what goes on there. Let me see something. I forgot to. Hold on a second. Let me put in the chat, guys. If you guys want to, whenever I'm not live streaming, let me move this microphone out of the way. Whenever I'm not live streaming the events, if you guys have Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I always live tweet the events. So here it is. I'm putting it in the chat. If you guys want to go follow me on there, I usually tweet out the live stream link and I forgot this time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Let me do that real quick. Because some people get it from there, By the way, Ginge, I just saw your message. I don't always check Twitter. I always forget to. Join me live. For some reason, I can't get my paste button to work. Okay, there we go. All right, let me get back to this chat now. Olives. Yeah, Olives has been one of my favorites for a while. I love watching him fight. I love his style. And I love how every time he comes out, he improves. Hey, guys, have to rewatch this, but I'm here. Alana, what's going on? How are you doing tonight? Okay, that makes sense. It'd be cool to have an inside look at fighter pay all across the MMA world. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I would love to know that, but we're never going to know. That's why they keep that all secretive. I always thought it was weird, even in regular life. You notice employers are always hiding wages because they don't want you to know. If you do the same job as the guy next to you, but he makes $2 more an hour, they don't want you telling that. So that's why it's like that, and that's why they keep it secretive. Um, my five are Tony Ferguson, Armin, I can't even pronounce his last name, Bobby Knuckles, Max Holloway, and Charles Oliveira. All great picks. All great picks. Tony Ferguson is a fan favorite. Tony Ferguson is just such a weird dude. Um, Mighty Mouse versus Moreno. Who do you pick? I'll go Moreno. But also recency bias of Mighty Mouse getting brutally KO'd, by Adriana, whoever, I can't even remember. Let's see. Oh, I missed Big Rocker Johnson. Pitbull or AJ McKee? That's going to be a fun fight for Bellator. I'm going to go Pitbull, probably. Uh, yeah, Armin is a beast. Love the way he fights top talent. Dante Zero says Khabib. Connor. How can you beat Khabib and Connor? That's funny. Whitaker, Holloway, and Ferguson. Yeah, I love Holloway too. I could put him in my top 10. Hold on, let me see something. Oh, let me see. Tony the type of guy to become a comedian to improve his stand-up. Yeah. Colby, Damian Maya, Bryce Mitchell, Armin, and Moreno. Only been watching the past 3 years, so it's a lot more recent fighters. Yeah, yep. But that's fun, man. You're a new fan. Uh, let's see. I gotta head out though, brother. Keep up the great work and being yourself. See you in the next live, bro. Yep, I'll be doing a fight stream for tomorrow night. So if you guys want to join me tomorrow for the fight stream, I'll be doing that. We can watch Korean Zombie maybe get a win. I predicted him not to, but I hope he does. I really like Korean Zombie. Um, Anybody who's in here who hasn't already liked the stream, make sure to go like it. Uh, that's crazy though. Colby, Damian Maya are two of your favorites. Bryce Mitchell. You're a hipster, man. You got some of them outliers where not a lot of people are talking. Not a lot of people are saying Damian Maya. Not a lot of people are seeing Colby. Um, or Bryce Mitchell. Didn't Bryce Mitchell? Correct me if I'm wrong. He got a twister submission, right? Um, if he did, I'm pretty sure he did. I was there that night. He got the twister. I think that was him. I can't remember. Um, Alana Peterson, I'll be here. Dante Zero says I'll be here. Bradley Wells said, see you tomorrow, bro. Go Korean Zombie. Dante says, I got Ige. Monty Gaming says, LOL. Colby has got to be one of the most entertaining fighters. Guy's funny as hell. See, I get that some people find it. I don't find it funny at all. That's just my personal opinion. Um, some people are different, so that's cool that you do. But for some reason, I just don't find him funny. I find it really cringy almost. He reminds me of Henry Cejudo. But you got to respect the guy. One of the best fighters at welterweight. You know. But for me, I don't find him funny. I don't know. People have different senses of humor, but he doesn't get me laughing at all. Like everything he says, I feel like he's rehearsed it and wrote it down. Uh, I'm a big BJJ fan, hence a few of them. Yep. Okay, I understand. That makes sense now. Damian Maya, Charles Oliveira. You know who I used to love watching? By no means was he one of my favorite fighters, but I always loved to watch him fight. Rusamar Palhares. If you don't know who he is, go look him up, man. He was the leg lock king, and he was holding submissions too long that the UFC cut him. And then he went and did it in other organizations too. Uh, could you see a scenario where Conor beats Dustin and he doesn't take the Oliveira fight and they make Beneil versus Charles Oliveira? No, I don't think so. I think he goes for that title. I think he wants that. I think he wants that title. If he doesn't fight Oliveira, he fights Nate Diaz or he fights Jorge Masvidal. I think he probably fights Nate Diaz. I think if he loses, he should fight either one of those guys as well. Alana agrees with me. Colby is annoying. Thank you. I'm happy that you agree with me. But I'm happy we can all, you know, we can all have different opinions and not be screaming at each other, which is always fun. Yusuf says he finds Colby funny. USUAJJJJS said I'll be watching live tomorrow. Awesome. Colby is this era's Chael Sonnen. Yeah, Colby is a off-brand dollar store Chael Sonnen, and I didn't find Chael Sonnen that funny either. So he was okay. He said a little bit of funny stuff. Some of his nicknames have me dying. His nicknames are hilarious. Oh, that dude. Who doesn't let go of leg locks? Yeah, I know. He even went over in other organizations and did the same thing. UFC cut him for doing it. Yeah, I like his style, but man, he was a dirty fighter. Holding leg locks is so dangerous. Did you see any pictures of him from like last year? He definitely is on steroids. I don't know where he fights now. Let me pull up a picture of Rusama Palhares. I got to show you guys a picture. I'm going to show you on the screen. I'm Googling it right now. He is absolutely jacked. Let's see. Somebody has to have a side-by-side somewhere. And he was probably using steroids when he was in the UFC too. Okay, I found the picture of him. You guys are not going to believe this. Anybody who's familiar with what Palhares looks like, if you see him, this was like from last year or something like that, you are not going to believe what he looked like, what he looks like now, or did look like. I don't know. This was like a year ago, but I'm going to put it on the screen in a second. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I almost got it, guys. Okay, here we go. This is him next to another guy. Look, this is Rusama Palhares. You guys ready? This is Rusama Palhares now. Look at that. Look at that. Can you believe that? Look at that. Who doesn't like gut? Leon Scissorhands or Dustin Soyboy Sorier. Yeah, I've been some of his BJJ stuff. I think Izzy is on roids. He's jacked to the max. Fighters watch Manuel Fariat, Giga Kaskaze, Adriana Yanez, Arvisev. Yeah, Arvisev is the guy I'm looking out for. A lot of good names there. A lot of good names. Ryan Hall, Miro Divistili. Yeah, he's used to the gills. Now, I don't think Izzy is. Nathan Levy is very entertaining. Mention Ryan Hall. You got him or Ela? I probably got Ryan Hall. He looks like a Dragon Ball character that is part of the tournament. I don't know why people hate Colby. I find him too fun to watch. This, to be honest, the sport needs some more trash talk. Respect is good, but not too much. I love to see some hated stare down in press conference. Me too, but Colby's just cheesy. That's why I don't like him, and I don't find him funny at all. Let me get rid of this real quick. Transition back to that, and I'm going to pull up a before picture for you. When he was thin. I mean, he was still jacked, but there we go. Here, I'm gonna put in another picture for you. Let's see. I'm trying to get this before and after up for you guys. Let's see. I gotta add an image. I'm still getting used to this software, and if I can't see you guys, I can't see your guys' messages right now. So just give me a second. All right, ready, Alana? This is before and after. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Can you guys believe that? He looks like a. Look at that. Look at that difference. Look at that difference. That is just insane to me. Rumors about 266 being in Chicago. If so, I am going. That'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome to go to an event. and that's going to be Ngannou defending his title. So that's going to be crazy. So we'll see what happens. Let me get rid of those pictures now. I just wanted to show you guys those. Yeah, he got massive. He really did get massive. There's no doubt that he was cheating. He was jacked when he was in the UFC, but he just was smaller frame. Uh, that guy was one of the dirtiest fighters I've ever seen. You know, he was cheating every fight. I'll never. Do you guys remember Alan Belcher? Uh, Alan Belcher went in, played the leg lock game with him, and just absolutely destroyed him. Um, he almost got a twister in the next fight. Bryce cooks them to the bone. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. I must have missed something. Rusamar Palhares. So Palhares is spelled Palhares. But I hope you guys enjoy these live chats because this takes a lot of time to do a live chat. And I really enjoy them, and I just hope you guys enjoy them as much as I do just talking MMA. Joe Rogan will always talk about Alan Belcher's big calves. I never seen that. Remember that terrible portrait he had tattooed on himself? I gotta look him. Yeah, he held like 3 submissions too long in the UFC, if not 4, where he had neat leg locks where he was tearing up the knee. Then he went on to other organizations and was doing the same thing in other organizations. I think he won a title and got stripped of the belt, if I remember correctly. I don't remember for sure. He beat Jake Shields, held it for too long. The guy is, I don't even know if he fights anymore because nobody wants him. Bellator won't touch him. And he was a lot of fun to watch because he would pull guard and immediately go for the leg lock. He was a leg lock specialist. It's very rare you see an MMA specialist, and he was so much fun to watch. And I would have loved to see him stick around in the UFC, but unfortunately, he's a dirty fighter, so the UFC didn't want him anymore. Okay, Lana enjoys the live chat. I'm happy you guys enjoy these live chats because I enjoy them. It's fun to do, and it's easier, because I do these videos and talk about different topics for the channel, but there's some stuff that I may not realize you guys want to see my opinion on or whatnot, and it's perfect to do these live chats. I said it last live stream I did. I'm going to try to do at least one a week. I may not always fulfill that, but I want to do at least one a week. What's going on, Bon QQ? Thanks for joining, or I don't know how you say it. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to like the stream, by the way. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just saw Rusamar's streak. John Fetch and Jake Shields submitted BRB. Joey got Jebediah beard. Respect. Thank you. I hope you like it. I like seeing my analytics. It's like 98% male, 2% female. So I know Alana Peterson is helping that 2%, which is hilarious. I don't know how many there are, how many females there are watching my channel, but that's awesome. To be honest, that's awesome to me. Let's see. Clay Guida versus Marco Madsen is another fun matchup, even though Clay is past his prime. I don't even know who Marco Madsen is. So I'm left out in the dark on that one, my friend. But Big Rocker Johnson, since you might go to that event at 266, what main event would you prefer to see? Ngannou versus Derek Lewis or Ngannou versus John Jones? Because I know what I'd rather see, but I'm curious what you would rather see. Yeah, dude, Rusamar was just grabbing everyone's leg. He was beating everyone. Nope, I don't. I gotta look this guy up. I must be missing out. He must have went over my head. Now you got me wondering who. Maybe I'm just not. I don't remember his name. Oh, I know who it is. I know who he is. Yup. He has a very distinct look to him. I couldn't forget him. Who did he fight last? Austin Hubbard. Okay, that's on. Okay, that's on in August too. Um, let's see. Olympian Greco-Roman, if I'm correct. Yeah, I believe he is. I know who he is. I just couldn't place the name. He's all natural, man. John Jebediah, Jimmy Jones versus Francis Ngannou, Jimmy Jones. That's the first time I ever heard anybody call that. Yeah, one silver and two. Yeah, that should be a fun fight. Maybe he can. I don't know if it's going to do much for him though. Yusuf just asked a crazy question. Ngannou versus John Jones, but I think 266. Oh, you're right. I'm thinking 265, my friend. I mixed it up. Yeah, Jan Blachowicz versus Glover is the main event, and Brian Ortega versus Volkanovski is not announced for that card yet, but it's looking like it's going to be that. Yusuf says, who would you rather be champion, Colby, McGregor, or TJ? That is the worst question I've ever been asked. Whew, that's a hard one, my friend. I don't want to see McGregor as champion ever again, so I'll exclude him right away. TJ or Colby? TJ's a cheater, and Colby's so annoying, and he's going to get even more annoying if he wins the belt. I'll go TJ only because I think he'll lose it fastest. Because if Colby beats Usman, I don't know who beats Colby. Yeah, 265 has only one fight confirmed so far. Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill. Who knows? That fight might fall out again. Angela Hill gets a lot of bad luck. He got a gas in the third, though, and got busted up, but won the first two solidly. I can't remember too much, man. Let's see. Did I miss something? Clarissa Shields versus Amanda Nunes is a fight to make. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm dying to see that one, my friend. Imagine Colby as champ. He'll be so funny. Oh, he would be so annoying. He would be so annoying. But we'll get to see him. If he loses to Usman again, he's screwed. Nobody gets 3 shots at the title and loses. Loses after losing the first 2. This year has been the year of rematches. Yes, there's been quite a few. I can't wait. Some more of these fights. We may see Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski again this year. So it'll be the year of trilogies. What do you think about Paul Craig? I can say he is the Damian Maia of the light heavyweight if he keep it like that. I think he's an interesting prospect. His jiu-jitsu is great, and it's funny that he'll pull guard. So I think the specialist. I like the sprinkle of a specialist in the UFC. Imagine Mike Perry as champion. Oh my goodness. Imagine Mike Perry versus Colby Covington. Imagine that pre-fight build-up. I would love, somebody mentioned it, not the fight competitive wise, but I would love Nick Diaz versus Colby for the build-up. What about Kevin Lee as champion? He's so inconsistent. Kevin Lee, I thought he could be champion one day, but he's just too inconsistent for me to be considering him a champion, for me to think that he may make his way to championship. Let's see what we got here. I love Lee too. I love watching Lee. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's well-rounded, but he's just so inconsistent. I mean, he beat the brakes off of Chiesa, and look at Chiesa now. He's moving back to welterweight. I think he's got a fight against Sean Brady, and that should be a good fight. But he's so inconsistent. So, I mean, he beat the shit out of Tony Ferguson in the first round. He could have been an interim champion, but nope, he lost. Mike Perry is UFC president for a week. Oh my goodness, that'd be terrible. Colby versus Conor would be the best press conference. Oh my goodness, could you imagine those two? Guys, before I go, I only had time to do about an hour and a half today. Before I go, I always love doing this on the live stream. If you already answered it before, just do it again for me. Where are you currently living? Not living. Where are you currently at right now watching the live stream? I'm curious where you're from. I'm always interested to see. I know some people are from Kuwait, some people are from Texas, some people from Cali. So put in the chat, where are you from? Who wins, in your opinion, Rakic and Yuri? I'll probably go Rakic. Rakic is well-rounded, and Yuri is just too defensively irresponsible. So I'll probably go Rakic. I'd love to see that fight, though, but I don't think we're going to get that fight. Dante Zero, Switzerland. That's crazy. That's the first time I've seen that place in this thing. Yusuf says London. JSJS says Ireland. Bon QQ says Chirac. Dante Zero says, okay, Zurich, Switzerland. That's crazy, guys. That is crazy. If anybody hasn't yet, before I end this, get me to 20 likes. If anybody's watching this on the replay, I appreciate you. That means a lot. Leave a comment on the video if you did end up watching the replay of this live chat. I'm curious how many people end up watching these live chat replays. Guys, join me tomorrow for the live stream for the fights. I'll at least be doing the entire main card, so tomorrow I'll go live. I'll schedule it tonight so you'll see it up and you can set a reminder. Paul Craig versus Nikita Krylov should be next. Yes, that'd be a fun fight. That'd be a very fun fight. Nova Scotia. Who is next? Dana White, the question always want to ask. I'd love to see Chael Sonnen. Yeah, I don't know if it would be that. I don't know if it would be Chael Sonnen at all. Chael Sonnen is, and I wouldn't want him. Yep. Okay, Bryce Mitchell was the guy that got the twister. Let's see. Hold on 1 second, guys. We'll be watching tomorrow. Okay, guys. But you would get busted for words by shaking Dana's hand. Yeah, very, very true. Dana's definitely on something. Why Dana look like Thanos? Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to end this live stream. I got a couple things I got to do tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to like the video, please, if you haven't already. Join me tomorrow night for the live fight stream. We can watch Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige. Should be a lot of fun. I appreciate every single one of you. Dante Zero, Bon QQ, Timmy Boy, Andrew McLean, Rocker Johnson, Alana, Yusuf, Monty, every single person who joined me tonight. I appreciate all you guys. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Ginge, join me for the fight stream tomorrow. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow night. Everybody enjoy their night.